What's important in life? It seems like such a simple thing, and you think you know what's important in your life. You probably think your job and your possessions, your friends and family, your loved ones. But there comes a time when you realise what is actually important. And you realise that material possessions mean nothing. Money in your bank account means nothing. Not saying it's a bad thing, it can facilitate wonderful memories and wonderful adventures, but the things that really matter in life are the things you can't put a value on. Family. Spending time with your family. When you realise how little time we have. There's a lovely hummingbird. Not a hummingbird, but looks like a hummingbird. Floss! When you realise how little time we actually have to spend with our families. Like most people only see their families once or twice a year. That's wild. And you think about in the next 30 years, you might see your family 60 times. Or if they're in their 70s, 80s, you might have 10, 20 times left to see them. And that sort of time absolutely flies by. When you have a scare and somebody that you love has something like cancer or a heart attack, you realise in that moment what actually matters, and you realise that money and material, anything, you would give up in an absolute instant, in a heartbeat, if it meant that that person that you love would be better. Flossie! What are you doing? She's gone into the bushes. Flossie, come on! She's probably finding us. Oh yeah, she's found a ball. She managed to find a ball on every walk. So you would give up absolutely everything you own, all the money in your bank account, every car, every house, you give it up like that to make that person that you love better again. So until you've had a scare like that, it is hard to understand what really matters in life, because you haven't had a different perspective. But once you have, you realise that times with people you love are the most important thing in the world. Living a life that is purposeful and true to yourself is one of the most important things. Not living a life for somebody else or what you feel other people think of you. You know, you don't have to be the same person that you were. I don't have to be the same person that I was in that footstep right there. We can change absolutely anything at any time, particularly in terms of becoming a better person. We can always evolve, we can always improve, and we can always work on ourselves. That is what's important. Being a good person is important. Helping other people is important. Loving other people is important. Being love. We are loving beings. And spider's webs. Radiating that out to the world is the best thing you can do. Best thing I can do. Because then you're on that vibrational frequency. I bet you felt it and you know what I'm talking about, whether you think you do or not. Think about a day that you've had and you feel really down, or you think, damn, everything's going wrong today. Bus was late, stepped in dog shit, whatever it might be, you know, caught in the rain, all these things that you think. And when you think like that, you will attract more negativity into your life. You will attract the next negative experience. Whereas if you switch your mindset, I guarantee you things change. You get caught in the rain, say thank you. I love the rain. Something happens that slows you down. The bus is delayed 45 minutes, say thank you. I get to experience 45 minutes of peace. Maybe I could listen to a podcast, maybe I could read a book, or maybe I could sit in silence and meditate on what I find is important in my life right now. So I've gone off on a bit of a tangent here, but I think it was a point that I needed to make, and a point that is really important to hear. But getting back to the main point of the video, of discovering what truly is important in our lives, what makes us happy and truly happy. Not just happy in the short term, not just happy for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, a week. Not material things that come and go, real things, real relationships, real beauty, real connection with somebody, that's love. Real gratitude, real joy, real grace. These are all the things that matter. And I know I certainly went through a period in my life where I thought material things would make me happy, money would make me happy. But when you realise that if you get onto the right frequency of doing what you love, the money will come. Because what you put out, you receive. So if you're doing something that you're truly passionate about, and it's bringing joy into your life and joy into other people's lives, you're going to want to do that. But that energy that you put out is frequency, and you'll receive that back. So if you're worried about starting something new, or what you should be doing in your life, really meditate on that point. What's right for me? Ask God for guidance. But just know that if you're chasing after material possessions, if you're chasing after women or men, and you keep thinking to yourself, I'm attracting the wrong type of person into my life, absolutely you are. Because your frequency is attracting exactly, not necessarily what you deserve, but what you're putting out there. So make sure you're putting out the right signals to the world, to the universe, to God, because He'll answer back, and it will be what you want. And then things begin to fall into place. And you'll see what is important, what is not important. This is important. Living life, experiencing, sharing love and knowledge. Going out and getting absolutely hammered so you can't remember what you've done. And then those are memories if you want to do it when you're young. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But take the advice from somebody who's done that for a long time. There are far better ways of making yourself feel content in your life. And I'm not saying you need to be some sort of guru, getting up early, ice baths, meditation, silent retreats. I mean, these things are all good, but you don't need to become a monk to realize what's important in your life. And that's connecting with people in a loving way, creating loving relationships, living your life that's true to yourself and true to what you want to get out of your life. Living a life that praises God and spreads the word of God with others, lifts one another up. These are all what's important. Don't spread hate. Don't spread negativity. That's a nice bike. Spread unity, peace, joy. These things are important. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take a deep breath. I'll see you in the next one. That's meditation.